Still have a quorum. All right, we're moved to agenda item number 3. Do we have any public comment? Agenda item number 4, certificates of completion awards and bond continuation. C.G. Young School for County Commissioners Court, 15 hours of educational training for John Scott Aiken, 11 hours of educational training for Gary Martin. B.G. Young Institute of County Government, 16 hours of educational training for Kristen Lavis, 6.75 hours of educational training for Kristen Lavis. Bond continuation for L.C. Barreto, County Court Clerk, J.P. Ford. We'll enter those in a minute. Agenda item number 5, have Friends of the Wilson County Public Libraries Incorporated discuss and take action on approving the proclamation declaring summer reading 2026 Unearth a Story for all Wilson County, Texas, June 8 through July 18, 2026. And our librarian, Deeger, she has several librarians out unless somebody's here from the library. I'll read the proclamation. Friends of the Wilson County Public Libraries Incorporated, whereas Wilson County Public Libraries are special places of learning and discovery for all residents of all ages, whereas public libraries play a critical role in providing a bridge for students in their education and academic skills over the summer months by Prevent the Summer Slide. Recent research about the over the summer break loss reports that on average 17 to 28% of educational achievements may be lost due to summer activity, and whereas 73% of male readers and 62% female readers in the United States view summer as the best time to engage in a guilt-free or mindless reading. Adults who read during the summer set a good example for children, improve memory, and enhance general well-being. Whereas the Wilson County Public Library joins the Texas State Library and Archives Commission and other public libraries across the state to support the 2026 national theme, Unearth a Story, by presenting reading challenges and exciting library programs. And now, whereas the Friends of the Wilson County Public Libraries Incorporated and staff of the Wilson County Public Libraries do hereby proclaim June 8 through July 18, 2026 as Summer Reading 2026 Unearth a Story. After all, reading just 4 to 6 books this summer could lessen lost academic ground from inactivity. We, as members of the Friends of the Wilson County Public Libraries Incorporated, encourage all residents of Wilson County to register, start reading today, and participate in the library programs at the Wilson County Libraries this summer. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation declaring summer reading 2026. A story for all of Wilson County, Texas, June 8th through July 18th, 2026.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, who's now back in session with us, and seconded by Commissioner Keen. Here, any other discussion regarding this agenda item? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. In witness whereof, I, Honorable Henry L. Whitman, Jr., and fellow Wilson County Commissioners, court members, hereunto set my hand on this 25th day of May in the year of our Lord 2026 to proclaim June 8th through July 18, 2026 as Summer Reading 2026 for Wilson County residents. Agenda item number 6, we may have Ms. Evelyn Miron, our Assistant County Attorney, discuss and take action to amend Article 1 of Contract Number 582-25-71293-RG entered into with TCEQ to provide for reimbursement of funds be applied for principal only. Funds shall only be paid as per the agreed schedule of payments and held in an interest-bearing account. Ms. Miron.
Yes. What happened is, TCEQ, we entered into a contract where they were going to approve the payment of Kristen, $124.
The grant hold is $204,022.
Okay, $204,000. We entered into a contract with Government Capital to purchase the equipment, which is gonna cost more, closer to $300. But we were gonna use the money from TCEQ to pay towards the contract. Well, the contract does not allow for prepayment, and it does not allow a waiver of interest and penalties. TCEQ says this money that we're giving you cannot be used for penalties, and it cannot be, and it cannot be used for interest payments. So TCEQ, in talking to them, they agreed to still give us the money. We applied all of it to the principal amount. We will have to pay close to $19,000 or so of interest. But they also allowed us to use the difference for next year's monthly payment. So we're not really gonna lose anything. They allowed us to use it for the 2027 payment. I believe it's a 5-year contract. So we needed to change that. I think you were provided with that contract that says how much you're gonna use in 2026 and how much in 2027, and that we will not be using that money to pay interest, and the difference will be held in an interest-bearing account until we're ready to use it.
And what is this contract for?
That's
This
for
is
The TURP program.
the
Turk.
program,
The
the
Turk,
humanitarian protector.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was a chair. Commissioner King. So I'm asking to please sign or approve the amended contract so that we can get the money and use that to make a substantial payment toward that debt.
So we have one that doesn't say amount.
I have one.
You know?
Yeah, I have one. We do need to figure out, because since that money that we're gonna be receiving, so we still have to follow the schedule. So the first payment's not due until October, so we need to figure out where we're gonna put the money into interest, if we wanna put it into an interest-bearing account, because if we do, then that interest needs to go towards the principal also. So we need to figure out which we want, and me and Christina and the treasurer discussed maybe potentially opening another account for, strictly for grants. And it be an account that doesn't, have interest, or actually doing a sub-account as Texas Box.
Yes.
And so we could use that interest to put it towards principal, but
I would not want to cause a big accounting nightmare, but wouldn't it be more fair if you have a grant and you're earning interest on it, that interest goes directly to that grant? Would it be separate, thing that you do that for, or is there a way to separate it so you know exactly? I mean, I know you can calculate it, but
You can. Within our general fund, it's a lot of other, obviously, accounts and funds. So opening an account would keep it separate, and I say account, checking account. But-
which might, so people might can hear you. Well, we can hear you, but it's people online, you know.
So don't we do that on some of the other accounts right now?
Yes. Well, we don't have one specifically for grants. The issue where we can do it 2 ways, with approval or looking into it just in case, with what I'm saying, is doing a non-interest bearing checking account, because if we're gonna utilize all these funds, an interest bearing account has to have a $5,000 minimum at all times, or we get charged a $10 bank fee. So we could go ahead and open a non-interest account to, for all those funds to be received in there. From there, to earn interest, they can, I can look further into it before a blessings giving, for a interest Texas class account. And what I mean by sub-account is strictly by itself. For that particular grant, we can have multiple ones open, so then we know exactly what interest is earned for that particular fund that's coming in. Then when that time is done, or the payment's due, we can then transfer, no penalties. It's at any point, our discretion, transfer it from Texas class to the grant checking account is what we would label, or a proper name. Then we can issue a check or direct deposit to that company.
Why don't you all research that and then next quarter come back and give us a recommendation, which is the best?
We can definitely do that. Is there a time frame that this money is need to be accepted or anything where if you do find something that can have time for next commissioner's court?
Well,
I would think so.
Well, we need to approve the amended contract, which
Mhm.
will set the amount, but then afterwards, and when we get the money is when we'll actually read the account, so we will have some time to do that. And the difference will be about $19,000 for a year. So if we can get an interest-bearing account to keep this $19,000, it would meet your minimum, and then we just make that lump sum payment next year of the 19,000 and close the account completely, that would take care of it. But to answer your question, yes, we can wait. I just need the contract approved so that we still get the money from TCEQ.
I mean, that's a significant enough amount that you're gonna earn good money in Texas class for 4 months before you even have to make the payment, so.
Yes. Yes, because right now with our depository bank, the interest is not as high as the sub-account within Texas class. We're looking at still 3.77 Texas class versus very low percentage, 23.
Well, but zero is nothing.
Well, then, yeah, it's a lot better, exactly. So if that isn't, we'll do some research, I'll double check on that. And if it's a possibility, that would help us out a lot to earn that and go towards the principal.
And I apologize, mine says draft too, so.
Okay.
I'll get one.
Okay,
They sent it to me from TCEQ, I'll get one with that draft on.
thank you, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to agenda number 6.
Okay, guess number 7 is what I've been doing. All right. So I'll make a motion to amend Article 1 of contract number 582-25-71293-RG, entered with the TCEQ to provide for reimbursement of funds be applied to the principal only fund, of the bank.
Have a second?
Well, it actually is,
Next one should.
well, at the very end of that deal, it says, and held in an interest-bearing account, so it sounds like we have to put it in an interest-bearing account. It's what the last part of the, agenda item says, if you don't mind amending your motion.
I'll amend it, and funds shall only be paid as per agreed schedule of payments and held in an interest-bearing.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Martin. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 6?
So, on discussion, it says in the contract that it may be held, in an interest-bearing account. It's not necessarily an interest.
Correct. But now we can, if we choose to do it.
I think the motion was that we would.
I think that's a smart thing to do.
I agree.
We're adding agreement.
Any other discussion regarding this agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 7, discuss take action on approving and signing leases affidavit John Deere credit for precinct 2 commissioner.
Just for the same thing.
Yeah, that's for yours.
Approving and signing the lease affidavit for John Deere.
I have to have approval for that affidavit before I sign it. It's sitting somewhere. Do that.
What is it?
It's-
But it, you know, paperwork.
And this was for,
It was same one as
all right, I'll make a motion on approving and signing the leases affidavit John Deere credit for precinct 2.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Cardova. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 7? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 8, discuss and take action on approving a resolution of the Wilson County Commissioners Court in support of an application to the Texas Historical Commission for funding under the Texas Historic Courthouse Preservation Program, authorizing the submission of an emergency grant application. And we have Mr. Thorne here today to address us for that and let us know what that's about.
Afternoon, everyone. Yes, this is just sort of the final document that we need to sort of give the state approval that you do wish to proceed with the grant application. They've had the paperwork already in, but this is the last piece they'll need, this resolution signed by the board. We'll go in along with it, they'll give us their judgment on whether we get the grant or not, and how much we get.
So, I think last time you were here, you said you were estimating around $750,000.
Right about that, yeah, that's what we put as an estimate.
And what percentage does this grant pay?
I'm sorry,
What percentage does this grant pay?
well, it depends on what they give us, so we're not sure whether they give us 100
So it's
or
not a straight percentage, or they may give us all, or they may give us all.
We may get 50, we don't really know, that's sort of on their call. They work on a scoring matrix based on all the questions, which are quite in-depth and quite glorious. And they look at, we already had probably granted, received grant money before for the first renovation we did, so they look at all those elements and the next stage, what we're going to do next is put out an RFQ, RFP for the project, so we can actually get real hard numbers, final numbers on it.
And you only really mentioned the porticos last time, so what's on the doors and the interior, what are the plans for that?
So we're also looking at the damage that was caused to the wainscots, up the stairs, and the front doors. So we're just looking at tweaking every repair work done on those items too.
What's wrong with the front doors? I mean, that's the side doors, I mean, to me, they're all.
On the front door, I think they just need a bit more conditioning done to them, because they get quite ahead of it. It's basically for the funding for the doors themselves as a whole. But on the last time we spoke to them, they weren't sort of, didn't really want to put that as part of the submittal, but we definitely need to get the wainscot fixed.
Right, yeah, but that's a wall, outside wall.
No, it's the wall that actually abuts the.
I know, but I mean, it's because of moisture coming through the wall. Was it a term?
No, I think there was a plumbing leak in that wall at some
Yes.
time over the last couple of years, and that's what's caused that. We didn't, I think it was a slow leak, looking at that in the back of the chamber, and I just think it just gradually seeped through the walls and rotted it from the inside out.
But clarify the doors for me, so what are we gonna do to them? We're gonna replace them, we're gonna put seals on them, is it
No, I
water rain comes
think
in
they
with
need
the
to
wind
look
blowing?
at the seals, and just they need a reconditioning, I think, some of them, because some of them are, they grab a little bit, so it'd be nice to actually have that sealed as well, I think.
Yeah, that was a water leak from the bathroom that's in my office over time, and it was corrected, and that's what caused the wings to deteriorate. Okay.
And then, once this grant's awarded, let's just say that, or we don't qualify, we go back to square one. Or they don't fund enough, because we commit to match or providing whatever funds or not, they don't give us. So do we have the option to get out of this at that point if we decide that's just
Of
a
course,
good plan?
yes, of course.
If we get no funding from the state on this, and then we have to pay for it, we're still under their guidance, and they're gonna come down here and say, you gotta do it this way, you gotta do it this way.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, yeah, there's no more look over it. Yeah, they have a, I think, 50-year sort of view lease on the property. They have a couple of different terminologies for it, but yeah, they can still look at it. Like when we did the original one, we replaced the roof. They looked at the existing, what we had was the underlayment, because they'd gone, had about 3 layers of roofing underneath before we replaced the main roof. And the same thing, they looked at when we were looking at repainting the windows here. We had to scrape it back, and they could see what the original colors were on the paint. And then we made a decision on which way to go, it's blue or white. So they will look at it, but they're very good to work with. I've been working with them for 25 years. They're good to work with.
You're good. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Thorne? I will entertain a motion on this document.
Make a motion that Commissioners Court support the application of the Texas Historical Commission for funding underneath the Texas Historic Courthouse Preservation Program.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Pirola. Any other discussion regarding this agenda item? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Thorne.
No, thanks very much.
Then item number 9, we have Carl Fowler, our fire marshal, discuss take action on certified payments, accepting online fees for fire marshal permits and inspection.
Greetings, Court. This is an attachment to the program that you guys approved, I think, back in November or December. There's a component where we can accept credit cards online, so we deal with a lot of developers that are out of state, some California, East Coast, West Coast. So it's mail, having a check mail really slows down the process for them and on our end, so this would kind of ease that. Certified payments does charge 2.35% with each transaction, or a minimum of $2. So that's really the only caveat. I don't know if I need to add that into our fee schedule to compensate for that and pass that charge on, or how you guys want to proceed with that. That's kind of my thought. But I'm working on trying to get that set up with the treasurer's office.
No, one over here across the street, they just tell you, you write us a check, that's fine, but if you use credit card, then they get charged.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the same deal. They can pay cash or check still if they'd like to. This is kind of, I think it was the Alina project. It probably took us 2 months to get a check out of them versus I can pay you today if you have a credit card, or you can accept credit cards. And that's what kind of brought this on, was those delays. I have a feeling we're gonna see more and more of those.
And you're set up to do that now, or you
Yeah.
want to set it up?
It's set up to do it now. We're not doing it now because I don't have court's blessing on that, but it is attached to the program. There's no contract with it, so if we decide we're not going to renew the software program that we're using now, it just goes away with it. It's not a ongoing deal. So I guess I'm asking for approval to continue setting that up, and probably have to have another session if you guys want to add that into the fee schedule so that fee is passed on to the end user there.
On the way, could you set it on the bottom, looking small print on the bottom?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's,
here's your percentage.
that was my
card.
intent. Yeah, that was my intent, was to add that to the bottom.
I'll entertain a motion, Commissioner. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Mrs. Earl about, we can take that on in, allow for any pass-through cost to be charged at the time. You're saying 2.35, but it may go up.
It's a credit card, service fee, so as long as you say that, and then they have the option to pay cash or check and avoid that fee, but yes, you can have that.
Is that a motion, sir?
Yes, sir. Make a motion that we allow the fire marshal's office to be able to accept permit fees by credit card, and that they allow all pass-through costs to be charged to the requester.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner King. Do we have any other discussion regarding this agenda item? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate it. Agenda item 10, Jalen Modifer, Human Resource Specialist, discuss and take action on 2026 TAC Risk Management Pool Annual Wilson County Property Renewal.
Good afternoon. I'm coming to you guys with the first of many renewals that are going to be headed our way soon. Today is a property renewal. A couple of months ago, I sent you guys an email regarding your mobile equipment to make changes to that. You guys responded, we made those changes accordingly. So this one does cover property and mobile equipment. The renewal is at $168,636 to take effect July 1st, 2026 to July 1st of 2027. I also have Lisa here from TAC to answer any questions regarding this policy in the event that you have them.
I do have a couple of questions. When was the last time somebody really audited and looked at what we got insured? Because I see what I believe for several areas. For example, we're showing an EMS station at 810 Street.
That's what's been reported by the county. We are doing appraisals this summer for anything that is covered, been added or valued at over $250,000.
I'm asking, what is that?
We don't know. This is new to me too, because this was just handed to me about 2 months ago, so I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, then there's a barbecue.
There's a,
That's the sheriff's office. Yeah, that's not. I mean, it's so. It is based on your own.
Well, the premium for this year is going to be based on that schedule that was reported to us. Next year, in January, you will get your appraisal report, and your 2027 will be based on that.
Because I mean, speaking for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of equipment that are shown as being mine, I don't have them, well, one of them, or 2 of them, 3 of them, I know I never had. To my knowledge, and so I've got some.
And I
And
did.
it's missing some equipment that's on here, so I don't know if you guys have looked at yours, but.
They did. I sent out an email on all of those to get responses, and I did get responses from most of them.
But I don't think any, yeah, I don't remember that email. We need to make sure please follow up and remind us for something.
Here, if you need to make changes, we can make additions, and you can also remove them. We do your underwriting for it once a year, so, but if there's things that need to be added, please let us know. We can do that.
The EFC building was out this year as well.
Because, I mean, Commissioner Aiken's got more than 4 pieces of equipment.
We do a complete renovation, and we have to report this.
So what's the chances of getting some of this corrected and getting it more at least in line with, and get it requoted?
So I can take that to underwriting if you have some changes that you want to make at this point. We do it in the month of April every year and ask for, to shore it up of any of your properties that need to be changes, any of the equipment, any values of the equipment that need to be done, so that we can get this out to you. We're required to get this to you 60 days in advance of any changes, so that's why it is where it is right now, but I can ask underwriting if you have some corrections, if there's anything that we can do for that.
I think there's at least a minimal, I mean, if the building doesn't exist, we need to get it off this list. We've never had any of this.
We discussed that possibly being the permanent building, and it was mistaken on here. And
Is that it? It was never any of this. So, I don't know.
This is something that was looked at every year prior to me taking it over, but it was not my office that looked at it.
So you're saying we have to approve this now, we can't,
No, you don't have to approve it now. We did it for approval. I could come to court today, but if you want us to review it, and you want to report any changes now, we can check with underwriting to see if we can make any adjustments.
yeah, I'd like to take a look at it too, and if there's things we need to remove off there, we need to remove.
Well, if there's, like, I mean, I know Commissioner Aiken's equipment short, mine's short. I don't know about Commissioner King's and Parola's, but, I mean, they're not, mine's not even close.
there's a few things that, I've talked to Jalen already about some of this stuff, so it's just, we're moving on.
I would think that the biggest would be the removal, since that's things that will impact your rates. And the biggest impacts for your rates is your property. It's gonna be your large historical buildings, that's gonna have the biggest impact on it. If you have additions for mobile equipment, we can take those in, and it wouldn't change your rate. What we can do is you can add them as a mid-year change now or in the future, and then it would be factored in next year into that rate.
if you look at my precinct 4 commissioner total item schedule at 17, I understand that only 4 will show up on there, but we worked through the list in our office, it just didn't make it into this final draft.
I think we need to get it right. It needs to be here as proper, it's not, we don't have it, it isn't.
What, you know, because nobody sure is the pneumatic roller, right? It's in the sheriff department,
I don't know.
and the John Deere compact track loader is at that, at the election facility, right? But Commissioner Pagola and I have shared road widener and small.
Are you talking about the skid steer at the collection facility?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's skid steer there. There's a case front-end loader too.
Little case that we sent over, yes.
But see, that, well, it just needs to be moved to the landfill, because it's not on the landfill. Well, maybe there is, I don't know. Well, anyway, that was, yeah, so find out, I mean, we need to do this, I think we need to go through the exercise to get, now that we have something to work off of. We'll get this, figured out. So, two questions. One is how do you need us to give you the value of that piece of equipment?
Yes.
And then, is there any way you can start showing the square footage? It is what you're speaking on this. This office building at 910th Street, that's 96 square feet, I don't know, that go away, Lieutenant? The one that was out there that we moved to the USD?
We moved that to the range.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't, in the ranges over here, I don't think. We've got, what, a container building and then that,
Connex in that building.
sir? Yeah,
Connex.
and
And
that,
that's-
yeah. The two connexes that are at the sheriff's office. We need to look at all
The
these
cover is
communication
probably the
towers.
barbecue that is on here, that was moved out there, that's probably what this is referencing.
And also the range.
But like, we don't have these communication towers anymore, because we got a new radio system, and that's all under a lease, and it's all maintained by LCRA, so I don't think we actually insured any communication tower at this point. I'm not sure, I'd have to check. Sure. And so, what are included in site improvements?
So site improvements are any sort of permanently affixed items such as like park benches, pavilions, lights, things that you want to cover in the event that there is a damaging storm or something that comes through.
Not anything not attached to it.
Not attached to the building that's permanently affixed.
So I guess what is your preference? You want us to get you this, you're gonna ask your question, we'll get to working on getting this one straightened out. And then, once we know from y'all if you're gonna modify this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make a motion to table, 2026 tax management pool annual Wilson County property renewal.
Second.
Motion to table by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner King. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion is tabled. In item number 11, we have John Scott Akins, Commissioner Precinct 4, discuss take action on a resolution supporting the payment of overtime for exempt salaried employees for Wilson County Sheriff's Office.
You want to handle it? Okay.
Commissioner, I called the sheriff, he said he would prefer to table this item. He's here to present it, so.
If that's what he's requesting, I'm okay with that.
I'll make a motion to table, agenda item number 11, on overtime and exempt salary employees.
Second.
There was a motion to table?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Motion to table by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Akins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion is tabled. Agenda item is tabled. In item number 12, we have in the sheriff's place, are you gonna do this too?
I can do this.
Okay. Discuss take action to declare Wilson County Sheriff's Office to sell surplus vehicles, equipment, and weapons.
So you saw us the attachment, you got the asset report, that's all gonna be sold by Gov Deals. And then, we had this his list of weapons that they just got new sidearms and some other stuff they had that was found sitting around in there that they're not using. That has to go through an FFL person, and this Red Status Gun Works and Peacemakers Armory provided bids for that. The Red Status is slightly higher, by I think like $600. So it doesn't, let's see, since this is gonna go through an FFL, does he have to quote bid this, or is this good enough, even though it's got to go through an FFL? Does he need another quote, or what? do you need?
No, he does, because you're not really doing a public auction, so
Yeah, we can't go cover.
yeah, so, I mean, if he's able to find nothing.
I'm patient. Good with that, Ms. Nelson? All right, I'll make a motion to, declare the Wilson County Sheriff's Office to sell surplus vehicle equipment and weapons, and to sell the weapons, and we need one additional point.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Curdola. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 12?
So I have a discussion.
So,
We've already received 2 quotes on the weapons. And now he needs to seek another FFL to provide a quote, or are we required to advertise it?
Well, you should advertise it, because you are selling county property, and so, for transparency, you probably should.
And you make it mandatory that it is an FFL.
It has to be,
In good
you can't do, because some of this, there may not be anything on that, that's the, kids, all regular. But it's gotta go through an FFL, because, you can't do a private sale from a government entity.
Right.
But you know that.
So, 4 or 5 years ago, my company did the inventory for Eagle Pass D evidence rooms, and they had roughly $400,000 worth of weapons in there that they needed to get rid of. And they did go into this paper, we helped them guys do that, and they had to get 3 quotes. But there's a lot of those things in there that can't be sold. There was weapons in there that had serial numbers round down, and they were modified, and they weren't legal, so they had to get those out of the way and destroy them.
Yeah, these are all weapons that the sheriff's department has purchased in the past. So these are, none of this is evidence type.
I think that's a little bit different. I think there were a couple of the shotguns that he said had, just, because he and I talked about this, and we didn't get to the subject of, okay, you get an FFL there, but we need to find out whether or not they can be. Just a couple of people.
And I know he was trying to do both. But we can certainly get another bid. Or, if that's all we need to do, we can do that, if we think we need to advertise.
All right, any other discussions, Commissioner?
So say your motion,
Excuse me, so it was to declare the Wilson County Sheriff's Office to sell surplus vehicle equipment and weapons, obtaining the additional quote that Commissioner
now we advertise.
You do, I mean, it's not real specific as to what vehicles, what equipment,
Oh,
what
wait.
firearms.
The gov deals.
We're only talking about firearms, because other
Okay.
stuff's going to gun deals, that'll go to an
Okay.
official
Okay.
auction site, it's just the weapons we're talking about. So just the third price?
Yes.
Okay, third price.
Court view?
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right. Any other discussions, Commissioner? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 13, Lou Sarato Permitting Development Director, 13A, Utility Permit 1, 893 Sunco Horse Precinct 2, County Road 451.
We're ready to the respective commissioner came for County Road 451.
So I went up with this, I approve this. Make a motion to accept permit number 893 for Sumpter Water Supply for Precinct 2, County Road 451.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Pearl. Any other discussion regarding 13A1? Here none.
I just have a quick question. These type of permits require a fee, right? Or is this the ones that they're boring and there's no fee, but if they're open cutting, then there is a fee?
Only if they trench do we require a fee, not for boring.
I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Motion passes. 13A2, permit 894, Sunco Water Supply Corporation, Precinct 4, County Road 461, review and approve.
Yes, this was sent out to Commissioner Aiken for review. This is to supply a property owner on that street address.
Make a motion that we accept permit 894 for County Road 467 from Sunco.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Martin. Any other discussion regarding agenda item 13A2? Here none, I call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Move to 13B, Tier 2 subdivision, 1, County Road 342, 2521, Precinct 3, David Kerr, discuss and take action.
Yes, so this is what normally in the past would have been taken care of by a variance. We're no longer doing variances. We have 2 tiers of subdivisions. This is a tier 2 subdivision. Essentially, Mr. Kerr was in attendance at a review committee proposing the split of his current 2-acre tract into 2 1-acre tracts. Both of these proposed tracts have utilities. They have electricity and proposed water wells with verification from Stevens Drilling that there's water availability. This was given a favorable recommendation at our review committee.
I make a motion to approve the Tier 2 subdivision on County Road 342, address 2521, Precinct 3, David Kerr.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bearable, seconded by Commissioner King.
I got some discussion.
All right, circle that.
So then I don't mean to budget your business, Commissioner, but I'd like to see us amend or add whatever we need to, that on a plant, when they're doing subdivision like this, that they show where the existing driveways are. I'm a little bit concerned, because track 2's right dead in that curve, and I'm worried about where are they coming out, where's the visibility, that we have an opportunity to look at that. Track 1's not quite as bad, but I'd like to know which one was the existing, or where they're, which property they're keeping, and where their driveway is, so that we can look at that.
Okay, and we made the developer or the property owner in this case aware that he will need driveways and will be supposed to have.
I thought you said one of them were,
No,
no?
it's a current track. Actually, I'd have to check with our, with my records to see if they've already pulled driveway permits, but whatever driveway permit submitted, Mr. Wood goes out there and checks their location.
Oh, give that,
Actually,
give it a call. Yeah, I mean, that's my only concern, is that they, if there is an existing driveway, whether it's permitted or not, I'd like to see that shown on this plan.
Yeah, and we told, this one came in right at the cusp of our new regulations, so we kind of gave them a little leeway. But going forward, not only will the surveys show, all existing structures, but show the setbacks.
And water wells and whatever, just like they were regular stuff.
They're just like a plat, but in a survey form.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
All right, any other discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 14, given our county sheriff's report, we have Deputy Skylar Daly, Sheriff's Office progress report.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Skylar Daly. I am the Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office, and I am standing in for Sheriff Stewart today. I'm going to present the April 2026 stats for the Sheriff's Office. For April, the total reportable calls is 514, bringing our total for the year 1,957. Non-reportable calls is 936, bringing our total to 3,737. Our total calls for the month of April is 1,450, bringing our total for the year to 5,694. Moving to livestock calls, our total for April is 52. Animal complaint calls is 26. Mental health calls is 30. And bird ban calls is 8. Moving to arrests, our total on-call arrests is 26. Our total on-site arrests is 28. So for the month of April, we had 53 arrest reports. Turning to the next page, our security checks is 89. Patrol buys is 611. And our traffic and code enforcement is 527. Traffic citations for the month of April is 93. Misdemeanor citations is 2. Burn ban citations, 0. Animal complaint citations, 1. Livestock citations, 1. For warnings, traffic is 511. Misdemeanor warnings, 7. Burn ban warnings, 1. Animal complaint warnings, 1. And livestock, 0. Moving on to our criminal investigation division stats. Closed cases is 15. New cases is 77. So our total cases that came in for April is 110. Sent to juvenile probation, county attorney's office, 52. Sent to the district attorney's office is 20. Cleared by arrest, 0. Unfounded, 0. Pending further investigation, 21. Out of jurisdiction, 1. And sex offender, we have no reported for the month of April. Switching to the next page. Our criminal interdiction statistics, our felony arrests, 7. Misdemeanor arrests, 11. Traffic stops, 129. Assisted patrol, 4. Weapons seized, 1. Stolen vehicles recovered, 0. Vehicles seized, 0. Grant ops that are out of the county, 5 days. Grant ops in the county, 0 days. Undocumented sent to Border Patrol, 1. Narcotics seized, methamphetamine for the month of April, 274.46 grams of methamphetamine, 1.32 ounces of marijuana, and it's 0 all the way down. So 0 THC, heroin, MDMA, cocaine, mushrooms, and fentanyl. The next page, our jail statistics. We are currently housing 3,000, for the month of April, 3,483 inmates. Our daily average is 116. Our intake total is 97. Our daily average intake, 3. Marshals inmates housed, 4. Marshals fees, 10,224. Gonzales County inmates, 3. And Gonzales County fees, 5,580. Moving to court security statistics, our total miles for the month of April, 8,530. 11. Non-reportable calls, 46. In-county transports, 46. Out-of-county transports, 36. 3 mental health transports, 3 medical appointment transports, 3 court commits, and 5 arrests.
Any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Perfect. And item number 15, Don Closet, Barnett, County Tax Assessor Collector, County Tax Assessor Collector monthly report. I'll let y'all take a look at that. Not here. Okay, we're gonna move on to agenda item number 16. It's Christina Boots, County Treasurer, discuss take action on County Treasurer's Financial Report.
Good afternoon. You should have the month of April. As always, listed is our checking accounts with the beginning balance with any debits or credits and ending balance. You will see the new one that's listed on there is the 287G task force that was discussed at a previous Commissioners Board of Opening Up. And then, of course, our CDs, along with any debits or credits, mainly they're all the interest earned. Next page will be our investments with Texas Pool and Texas Class. Average rate obviously is 3.65 with Texas Pool, a little higher with Texas Class, like I said, 3.7747. We need it to stay right there, not move. With any transactions, any contribute or withdrawals that we have on those accounts are listed as well. Followed with the outstanding debt page. Nothing changed on any of our payments up on top, but you will notice that there was one lease purchase that has been paid off. It made the third payment for that year, and the remaining balance is 0 for that one. And then ending with what's labeled the Treasurer's Monthly Reports, where again it lists each fund for just the month, April 1st to the end of April, any debits or credits within those funds. Just a snapshot of that month.
I got a couple of general questions. One is, so is there a specific reason we put all the interest into the general fund checking account? 'Cause that's a significant amount of money. I've heard us see that reinvested reason.
Are you talking about?
On the investment interest summary, the second line under the investment pool account, page.
For the Texas Class General?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying the total
Second line says
deposits?
investment interest summary, it says the interest from the above investment accounts deposited into the Wilson County General Fund checking.
Okay, you're saying textbook. Good question. That was set up before my time. I have actually brought that up in conversation, because it is budgeted with the interest. I could not tell you why. That is something, like I said, before my time.
Can y'all discuss that and see if, I mean, I get it, you gotta keep enough money in that account to pay bills, but I mean, we're not earning interest on $25,000 a month because it's now our minimal to none because it's only in that checking account.
Yes, so what happens is tax pool earns, like this month was 24,000. That is going into our general fund checking account. And because we budget, obviously we budget the interest that we're earning within tax. I think right now it should be tax class, tax pool, and of course the checking account. I can see exactly why. I look back into minutes, years back to see if there was a.
If there's not a reason to do it, I would prefer to get it somewhere where it can earn the most money for us.
Yes, I would like to see it back in tax pool where it's earning like our Texas class.
Sure.
But based on budget, I can definitely get with Kristen at the time and discuss and see what our options are. But yes, to move it back to Texas pool or Tex pool, say that, would be ideal because then we can earn, because right now we've just been sitting at 8 million the whole time.
And then my other question is, if one of you ladies knows, is what can we use the Jackson Memorial Fund for? What is that designate? You know, I've been asking that question for a long time now, I still haven't answered.
I need to look into that because that's not something we did not discuss that one, which is, I'm thinking of the other one. Was that with the, that nature park, right? Yes, that's.
Well, if we're supposed to be or should be doing something with it, then we need to do something with it. If not, I just want to understand what it is we can or can't do with it, or what we're supposed to be doing with it, because, it's really whatever. What is that, probably 3%, 2.5%?
With the CDs, they are about 3%, I think that's what they are. But that's, I'm referring to the checking accounts. Yeah, let me look into, because I know we discussed it and it was with the nature park, but as far as what we are able to do with that, I'll need to do some research and back with
Because
it.
I don't know that anybody's done anything out there in years.
Yeah, that's,
We're supposed to be maintaining it or keeping it up, or, I don't,
what,
as far as I know, I mean, it's been a while since I've been out there. Last time I was there, you just drive in anytime, day or night.
okay, no, let me do the homework on that.
Isn't that tied to Sarah?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
I think Samson Brewer has the authority. I think that they open it first thing in the morning and they close it at night. It's closed daily.
Okay.
And I believe they have a porta potty out there, I believe, that they facilitate the cleaning of it. I don't think that's the same stuff that Sarah does. But, you know, people that we can check with to do that. And I think the Memorial Fund is whenever it was starting, they took donations to help kick it off. And
That's kind of what I was thinking.
this has
but-
probably been like this for a long time.
But I mean, if we've got it, we need to spend it too. And we're supposed to, when we have some obligation to be doing something, I want to make sure.
I did look at the history of when it was open and how much and all that, but now that'll help me go back and see when that was discussed in court and see if it was on donations made, things like that, so I can find out. You did say that, was there another one to look into, or just the tax?
No, just that one, and then the deal with the interest on it.
The interest, yeah, and I will definitely, will need to look at that, because with budget and see, and just get the notes on exactly when that took place, so we at least know, and maybe a reason why. I'll set the budget maybe.
Yeah, there is a budget line item for interest in the general fund.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's okay, if that's where we really want it to
That's
go,
where we're,
but,
it is going, obviously, and there's a lot.
but I mean, but the reality is you pull money out of that class to put in the general fund if you needed to pay checks, right? Or when you need it, or you're transferring money, because all of it goes straight into either an investment or an interest-bearing account.
Correct. Most of the initial money that we get during the beginning of tax season in November goes into Texas class. I want to earn as much as we can.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case right now with taxable, because obviously Texas class is earning more. So that's just been sitting there. That same amount you'll notice within the last year, trying to put it where we can earn more. But yes, I do transfer it, and it would be obviously operating expenses.
Yep.
But it would help if we really didn't need it so much with budget, or if we need to transfer, we could at least let it sit there and taxable and earn.
Yeah, as long as we can, as long as it sits there, better leave it.
Correct. Yes, because the rates are still high. I mean, right now, not as high as it was, but it's better than the lowest.
Still better than zero.
Exactly, exactly. And if I can have a lot of that sit in there and transfer as we go in those other checking accounts, I do my best and of course maintain or to cover when bills are after court getting processed. So, but I will look into those two items for sure, and then if there's any other questions on any other items.
Any other questions, Mr.? Now, I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 16.
We'll make a motion to approve the April treasurer's report.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner King. Any other further discussion regarding this agenda item? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Pursuant to section 551.071 through section 551.076 of the Texas Government Code, I'm entertaining a motion to go into executive session regarding agenda item number 17.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Aiken. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, so it is 2:00 PM, and we're out of regular session into executive session.
I just thought of small things. Regular session. Second.
We'll go with Commissioner, motion made by Commissioner Bertolo, seconded by Commissioner King. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right. Motion passed.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Bobby
You may
Bailey.
proceed, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. Bobby Bailey was hired as a road hand for precinct 2, making $20.75 per hour, $43,160 annually, effective May 21st. And Simon Cardenas resigned from his position as a maintenance supervisor, effective May 18th.
Agenda item number 18, we have Kristen Lavis, our intern county auditor, discuss take action. Wilson County ESD number 2 completed their annual audit for 2025.
Pursuant to Texas Health and Safety Code 775.082 requirements applicable to emergency service districts, the Wilson County Emergency Service District Number 2 Annual Financial Report for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2025 has been submitted to the county for filing in the official minutes of Commissioners Court. The audit was conducted by an independent external auditing firm of Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates, PC, which, excuse me, which issued an unmodified opinion stating the financial statements present fairly in the material respects the financial position of the district in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. This item is presented for acknowledgement of filing purposes only. The purpose of this agenda item is solely to receive the report and enter it into official record of the Commissioners Court as required by statute. We do have ESD2 here if y'all have any questions.
Chief, you have the floor.
So, yeah, we've completed our 2025 audit, and in speaking with the board and our legal counsel, moving forward, with the statute, we're gonna make sure that we're submitting that to you guys on a yearly basis. And the main purpose is just for financial responsibility, accountability, and transparency for the expenditure of taxpayer money.
If I've not been monitoring the comptroller's website, wherever your ambulance grant is, have you been seeing it?
No, as of the last update that I got, I actually reached out to the comptroller's office last week, and they're starting to release funds from the west of Texas. I've received, some of those departments have received their funds, and they're making their way to the east.
But ours is still in line.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just want to make a couple of comments, and David, I believe, Christina, you told me that ESD 5 has told us they're going to file for an extension. There's actually a deadline on this. Do you know anything about the status of ESD 5's submitting their annual audit?
No, sir, I'm part of USD 4.
I mean, 4, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, status of ours, yes, it is.
Come on, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. David Adams with Wilson County ESD4 Executive Director. The status of our audit is by May 31st, we'll have signatures obtained and submitted to Commissioner's Court.
Okay, so you'll be ready for the next court?
Yeah, so it'll be ready for that.
You submitted it to me, did you have an agenda item that came in for that,
No, sir.
in the next court?
Yes, we fine, okay, it's 5.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you,
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and Commissioner Aiken, just so you'll know, you might contact 1 and 3, because this is an annual requirement, it has to be submitted by the date, or they have to ask for an extension, and the result is that if they do not, the president and the treasurer of those commissioners must be removed from office. So it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty serious. But thanks for leading the way, Adam. And I'm glad you guys are on track. So.
Yes,
I'll make a motion to accept the Wilson County ESD number 2 financial audit for the year 2025.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner King. Any other discussion regarding agenda item 18?
I just got one comment, Adam. I noticed that they only listed my name. I'm not the only commissioner that covers your service area. But I think I don't remember what it said because Commissioner Aiken
He's the only one who's out.
Commissioner King.
For that particular district, it's gonna be 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, so make sure you got your direct, or, you know, because I think your board should be separate from what county commissioners are. Just so, I mean, this is something your auditors probably don't deal with, but but you're just too late. Don't worry
correct,
about it.
correct, but just an update on mine, I did submit the 3 commissioners that cover our district, but they have only a spot for 1, so they went off of the one that covers the most of.
Okay.
But I did.
Well, tell them that we don't really think that's right. They should put everybody that's responsible should have their name on there. The rest of that page was blank, so there's plenty of room for them to type a couple more lines.
All right, any other discussion on agenda item 18? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item 19, Patrick Christian Malavis, our interim county auditor, discuss take action on countywide budget amendments and interfund transfers for fiscal year 2025, 2026.
This amendment is requesting to authorize the transfer of budget appropriations between line items within departments and to process interfund transfers within the general fund as necessary to support operational needs and ensure accurate budget reporting. No additional county funds are being requested as an amendment reallocates existing general fund resources. So this is something that in preparation for our budget, I read a report and sent out an email to all officials asking who was over in any budgeted line items to make adjustments, and also gave the opportunity to any other officials to do any kind of amendments that they saw fit for their budget as well. So there's 2 attachments. The first one is gonna be the department line item transfer, so that's gonna be just reallocations of budgeted funds within the departments themselves. And then the second attachment is gonna be the inter-fund transfer in the general fund. So there's funds that we will not be using for the animal control services. And so we reallocated that to the departments that were short in the budget where we saw needed to be moved, that we just didn't have funds budgeted that they needed. So for instance, our fire marshal, he received his new county vehicle, so the outfitting of that vehicle will be receiving the invoice on this commissioner's court, so the funds needed to be transferred into his department. The JPs, they were short on their computer software. There are some funds that weren't budgeted for for telephone and internet. I'm not sure why, so those funds needed to be reallocated back into their departments. Permitting, there was nothing budgeted for inspection fees, so we needed to transfer money into that department. And then some of our bonds, also, there wasn't enough allocated into those departments.
Thank you. So y'all don't know this, but I was in communications with her. When she saved it, disappeared. So she had to come in over the weekend to finish this up, to get it up.
A little bit of a technical difficulty, but
These two guys were people that helped her with it.
our IT did, they tried to save it, but.
Wow.
All right, make a motion to approve the countywide budget amendments and interfund transfers for fiscal year 2026 recommended by the county water.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner King. Any other discussion regarding agenda item number 19? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Agenda item number 20, again, we have Ms. Wallace again, discuss, take action on county bills.
Well, she's handing it out. I got a question for you, Mr. Fowler. Is your truck leased or did we purchase yours? And I guess my question is why is the upfitting not included in the lease? Because that's the way we did the rest of them, wasn't it?
So.
Yeah.
So we found this out with the sheriff's department because I had a question. Back in October, he had a pretty large amount that was different than what his monthly payments were. So when we lease a vehicle and they have the vehicles outfitted and it gets charged through Enterprise, we have to pay 50% of the outfitting when we receive the vehicle. So that's what this large amount that we're having to pay for the fire marshal's vehicle, we're paying the 50% towards the equity of that. And so we're paying for the outfitting plus the month of the lease, and then a prorated amount for the lease as well for like a portion of last month.
I don't remember anybody ever telling us.
I just found that out.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so did we, obviously. Because I was surprised at that, because my understanding from that initial deal was whatever we wanted, they would put in there and it just divided by 12 months and, or plus the cost of the vehicle in 12 months, and that's what it is for here, with whatever they figured the end value would be. So then what happens when that vehicle gets turned back in, since we had to pay for half of the upfitting? I'm assuming our monthly lease is less, but how do they, so like if we can salvage, you know, he's got a cover and other things, if it fits that vehicle, you get to keep that, or does that stay with the vehicle?
From my understanding, you keep it, so when we go to turn the vehicle around to trade it out, we get to keep all of what, the portion that we, or everything that we outfitted the vehicle on, so lights, radios, whatever we added to that vehicle, we get to keep when the vehicle leaves the county.
Do what?
Same thing if they work in total one, we get to keep all of them.
Kristen, it's one of us signed in the wrong place. I don't clean what's in there.
Do you want me to get a new one?
Yeah.
Okay, I can text you and see.
Yeah, can you do that?
Me and text her since I'm going to do it wrong.
Just don't bug yourself.
Oh, I thought they didn't put your John or Scott or whatever.
No, it wasn't that.
Hey, wasn't gonna say anything, Commissioner, they just.
I read the whole thing and then I just signed right over to a piece.
I don't think I said this, but the bill total is $536,974.01.
All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to accept, take action on the candidates.
The right places.
I'll make a motion to accept the county bills for $536,974.01.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Martin. Any other discussion regarding this agenda item? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Ayes have it, and motion passes. We move to agenda item number 21, Commissioners Court, 21A, announcements by Commissioners Court, and B, status updates, information. Do you have anything to share with the court, Commissioner?
I do. A couple of things. So I've been contacted by Sarah for the fall hazardous waste event. I mentioned to them and reminded them that we were supposed to be working on an ILA, and we've gotten a little bit of information back from them. I haven't had a chance to talk to Ms. Sherlin, but I got a call from the Intergovernmental Relations Supervisor, Brian Nass. They will take the lead on that, Ms. Sherlin. So that's in the works. They wanted to do the event in November. And I told them, I said, I don't think that's a good idea because it's too late, their season, you know, all the problems we had last year. And they told me they've already scheduled October 3rd and 24th for Karnes and Goliad counties. So I'll put this on the agenda next time. I guess we've got whatever the 2 dates between the 10th and 17th to pick from to have the event. So I'll think about that. The other thing I have to pass on is in talking to him, he says that they have an open position for their intergovernmental person to work directly with Wilson County, and they love to have the Wilson County employees, so you can put a blurb in the newspaper, would be much appreciated to help them out. The application is available today online at Sarah. If you need some more details, I can give you the contact person for that. The thing that I just passed out to you, y'all probably saw the judge's email Friday. So the Wilson County Appraisal District has asked us to fund a new building for them. And I apologize, I could not get the first page to print. But the bottom line is they want $2.6 million split amongst those who are the taxing authorities. And the first thing I need to do is probably let Ms. Sharon explain to you how the appraisal board works and what percentage of votes that we need. I'm understanding that there has to be 7 of 9 votes to deny or approve this action.
Yes, I did some research on this. The appraisal board is selected by the different taxing entities. And then the board is actually the governing body for the appraisal district. They have, the only time that, in this situation, it seems that whatever proposal they want for a building or whatever it is, if it's within their budget, they have the right to make that decision, but they have to go back to the taxing entities and ask for approval of a majority of the taxing entities that receive, that provide the most funds. So while there are many taxing entities, if 9 are the actual majority, and I know Wilson County is probably at the top financially.
Yes, we are.
Then the majority would decide whether or not to accept or reject the proposal, actually reject the proposal by resolution. if there is no rejection, by, these, 7 counties or 9 counties, whatever, then it's gonna be deemed an approval. So that's something to consider in the future, that if you don't want the budget used or money used for that, then the court would have to, in a future time, review and discuss and reject the proposal. It has to be by majority. So if the majority says yes, and we're the only ones that do a resolution saying no, it's gonna pass, because it's by majority of the 9. So, 5 of the 9 would have to vote for yes. Or, I mean, if they do nothing, it's considered a yes.
Do they have an obligation to let us know ahead of time? Because I found this out to the back way, and then I
Yeah,
said,
and that's the way I found out about it. I think Mr. King was the guy that me, and I was
individually, not in one group.
Well, so, I'll continue on. So, supposedly, the taxing authority, the page I couldn't print out, and I will try to do that soon after everybody, see if I can get it in the format. But it was issued May the 6th. I talked to Porterville ISD, Pope ISD, they have explained to me about Livonia ISD, and I talked to my 3 ESD boards that are in my. And I've confirmed that the school districts apparently got this letter only as early as last week, even though it was dated May the 6th. And there is a deadline. We have until June 8th to say yea or nay. So, and they're wanting $2.6 million spread out amongst the taxing entities, $2 million for a building, and I guess 600 and some thousand for some improvements. My understanding is that they met with the Floresville ISD Finance Committee and had a very poor explanation for this. One of the pointed questions was, well, will we get a credit back when y'all sell this other building? I don't know. Well, that's not an answer. There's no plan. And there's no forewarning on this. I think I can rest assured, Floresville ISD, Pope ISD, and the 3 ESDs that are in my precinct, they're not going to vote for it. Well, if they have the opportunity to vote. But this is not the way to do business. School districts have their new budget starts July 1, so they've already approved their budget for next year. And they're, as all school districts are, they're jammed up against the wall. So, Judge, we need to have a special meeting on this, and see if we can get this whole way here to explain to her that we're not going to approve it, because there's a process. The other thing is, I haven't been able to turn it, they got an appraisal to make this purchase. It's the Shank Property Professional Building there on 181 North. It's been on the market for, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years it's been on the market. Like at 2.1, so they offered them $2 million, and so they got a deal, but I don't know what an appraiser would appraise that property at. It's on 6 acres, so if you say 50,000 an acre for 6 acres, that's 300,000. So that's 1.7 for that building that's at least 30 years old or older. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of forethought planning and a commitment to work with the communities that have to pay their bills. So that's all I'll say. But Judge, I think we need to call a special meeting to discuss it and make an official vote and do a resolution or whatever it is we need to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it has to be a majority of the taxing entities, so they need to know also that no vote is a yes.
Yes.
So,
And if we weren't given proper notice and we didn't know the vote, we just voted yes.
well, and they do have authority within their budget to spend however they want. That's why, and the tax code and the property code says they have full authority until you say no. That's why you have to, if you say nothing, you're basically agreeing to how they want to spend their money. Until you actually stop them and say, no, we do not approve of this spending or this budget item or this proposal.
And that's because they do have the primary decision-making, if it's within their budget. Now, if they want to do bonds, or they need to increase their budget, or something that requires, then they do have to come to the court and get a yes, actually. But I know nothing about this proposal, so I don't know if they're saying, well, we have it in our budget, and it's, even borrowing money or anything, they have to come to court to all the taxing entities to get a yes. But I'm assuming that they're saying, well, it's all within our budget, so the only thing that can stop us are no votes from the majority. And so that's kind of how that works, so.
But we don't
yeah,
know,
you might
because
wanna-
there's been no communication whether or not they adjusted their budget on the premise of we're gonna get a yes vote, or we're not gonna get a vote at all, which is a yes.
Yeah.
My problem is,
Right.
we just named our representative back to this board this year, if I remember correctly. Like at the beginning, we appointed him, is that not correct? And he didn't reach out to anybody, and he's our appointee.
Right.
She didn't reach out to anybody.
Then
We're
it's
all-
her job.
We're finding out about this, and it is suspect on the way, we weren't brought in early, like, hey, we just voted today on this, we'd like to take in, buy a building, and we'd like your support.
Because, I mean, you can see, I mean, with that piece of paper with each entity's responsibility is that they're showing how much of an increase in the budget would be allocated to you, over the prior year, and what your anticipated amount for the 27 year is. And for the county, it's $83,240.82.
Sure.
And they never, I mean, we're the top payer, obviously, because we got the whole county. But, you know, the school board bills next was $70,507. And in talking to their assistant superintendent, I mean, he said they are jammed up against the wall. The state's got them in a 9-line bind. And, you know, their new school year starts at month. I mean, their school budget starts at July 1. So they don't have any, I mean, they could, I mean, but they don't want to. I think both's in the same bucket. What I understand is in Livonia, somebody that's either on the Livonia board or Livonia superintendent is family related to the people that are selling this, so Livonia is probably going to abstain, I don't know. So that's a no vote that we lose potentially, or not there.
They've done a lot of new construction going on over there with all of the new residents.
But yeah, there's apparently a conflict of interest. according
So
to-
the largest of the school districts, they're within Wilson County, and Wilson County, and the Wilson County Hospital District. Those are the largest, and then the ESDs follow after those. Because what is the affirmative? They have to have how many?
Well, what Ms. Huron said, I believe, is, I still don't know who gets the vote. More than half, well, she said, I guess the top 9 of us maybe, and I don't know if that's based on what this would be or if it's some old deal. But that's one of the questions that I have is for them is who are you saying these voting entities are? And, because none of us knows, I mean, I've been appointing these for 20 years on various things that I've been on. I don't know if I ever knew who really voted. I know we had a vote, but we never voted on anything. It was just whoever we were gonna appoint to their board. As a school board member or as a board.
Commissioner, will y'all do me a favor and send an email to Rachel as soon as you can, not today, tomorrow. Let me know what your schedule looks like for the rest of this week, the third. I got an 8 o'clock meeting Wednesday. I think we have to have 72 hours for posting on a special meeting, not an emergency, but then that we can still get before the June 8th deadline, right?
Yeah, it is. I've understood that somebody called them out and said, hey, there's a holiday. So they said, well, they would give an extension, but I mean, lawyers can be lawyers, and they may say June 8th was the deadline. So my preference would be to do that, have the resolution or whatever it is that we need drafted in a letter to send to them to tell them that whatever we decide to vote, and have that ready to sign and send it off whenever we can have a special meeting.
Let's try to shoot, Wednesday or Wednesday of next week, that goes on Wednesday for sure. And then what does the resolution look like?
I don't know, it just.
I'll get with that one.
Yeah, just, because it just says, what does it say here? The governing body of a taxing unit by resolution may approve or disapprove of the proposal, so I don't know, whatever, yeah, she'll have to. just-
Okay, we can get that done.
If,
And would it have to be, really early, because both of those days we have criminal court.
Which Thursday?
The fourth,
Yes.
Thursday. So, Commissioner Cordova,
Friday.
Because we can get carried, it's not like, we gotta drive more than a mile to get to where their office is. and go here.
Well, and not only that, it was one of you guys can't make it, as long as we have a quorum, that's all we need.
Well, but if he's got on this, then that puts us right on the board or something happens, one of us in the city.
I prefer the Friday the fifth.
You wanna go Friday the fifth?
yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, we can check the judge, make sure she doesn't have anything.
Let me check my schedule too. I'll have Rachel reach out,
Okay.
okay? We'll get a date.
Well, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, I'm not happy with the way that it's ever been presented to us. That the appraisal district has always kind of taken a position that we'll do whatever it is we want to do, and they need to be reminded that they don't have constituents to report to really like all the rest of us as taxing entities.
Okay. All right, we'll get on that. Motion to adjourn?
One more thing. You started on that side a little bit. So you took out half of what I was gonna bring up. I'm still receiving complaints about Spectrum leaving messes and where I wanna convey to your office, and I'll contact them as well, is that they need to be partners in this. Whenever they do their work, they have got to clean up after they do their work. And I mean, I don't know how many times we've gotta bring it up in court, but it seems like it's a quarterly issue, or they have a little bit, or they have a little time where people just don't call, and now they're calling a bunch of things.
Jumping down my social media. We'll send Skylar out there. Okay.
Law enforcement.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, so, you brought up about communicating, that's a good thing. I think if, our Wilson County EDC is gonna be looking for people coming in, whether it's a data center or not, I think that they should be coming to our court frequently. If there might be potentially another one coming in. So, research is being done, I'm sure each and every one of you, it's hard to have talk to each other because we can't have a quorum. So, but we potentially have another data center coming in. So, like I said, I think if we're not having communication, our EDC should be talking to the court and letting us know, since we're the ones taking the face shot on all this. That's all I know. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Morton. All those in favor, say aye. All right, we are adjourned, and it is 3:13.